You got it, you got space. Put this here, we're not gonna sit there.
You can put it on the chair.
Just three of us, okay. Yeah,
Oh, man, I get trophies.
Sandy came back from Norway with COVID, so.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah, no, it's the other side.
That happens, yeah.
Sandy Bonato, so she's out and he is working, as he said last time. So
Oh, but they did
He's out
return.
of town.
I didn't know if they would have been back by this time.
Oh, yeah, no, they returned and then I guess they tested positive after they got back, so. So she's isolated.
Yeah.
But Queen, he's traveling for work as well, so.
We'll get this up and running.
We'll start at 7 on the dot.
Okay. You have,
Okay,
you have trophies and a certificate for
Yeah.
your daughters.
No, it's, we didn't make it to the,
Award ceremony.
the end of the year,
One for each of your daughters and Haley's junior coach certificate, so.
junior coach.
Yeah.
It's a great program.
And I didn't realize she was a junior coach.
Yeah, she would go and drop her off. She'd have 10 o'clock practice till 10:45, then she'd stay through the end of like Ronnie's practice, like 1 o'clock. Try to turn this computer on.
Nice.
And Herman was kind of like nice, so. And then when I get the image, I have to put my arm out and roll it off. Yeah, not simple, like, so.
Actually,
Oh, I'm like, here's a, you need to plug, there's a plug.
We used to have a terminal in my office, so it's like the minute I
Yeah.
click it in, it, like
Yeah.
everything pops up.
Mhm.
Yeah, mine was dead. I went to like, that's not turning on though, apparently it's dead.
Raising my hand.
Yeah. So we have a general manager report, the consent calendar, and then you guys are up.
Perfect.
So,
Are you taking?
and I'll do a little brief introduction of that item and then.
Yeah, it's kind of a short agenda. Okay. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I thought about canceling the meeting, but these guys
No, this is cool.
wanted to be on the agenda, so.
Yeah, okay, thank you so much. Thanks for having us.
I'm gonna try to get them moving as quickly as possible.
So we're showing all the different technologies.
Yeah.
Yes.
Of
Yeah.
spinning.
I know,
From the
one is
original
from sort of hand,
obstacles and the
yeah,
old wheel and then the electric wheel.
something new, yeah. So it will keep going until the school is filled, is that the idea? And then-
Yeah, until I run out of
Phone
it.
rings or something, yeah.
Yeah, and I have it on a battery right now, so I can plug it in, I use a battery.
And you kind of splice the wool together, if you will, so you run out of one, you kind of you know,
Yeah.
weave it
Yeah,
together.
so if it
it's
comes
kind of-
apart like this, you just put it back and.
Yeah, and then kind
Wool
of,
likes to grab on the wool, so it.
Little barbs hold on. to it.
Yeah. so you don't actually have it like a knot, so to speak, yeah.
No,
Sometimes when you're beginning though, you're like, I'm just gonna tie it.
Yeah.
In the old days, yeah, this wheel would be just from New Zealand, right? And it took like 18 weeks to get back in the 70s. Yeah, right?
Oh.
And now you can get them like overnight. Yeah, it's things change, yeah. Well, and the funny thing is because, they had to go to electric because treadling is so hard. Right, everyone's buying the electric wheel now because they're cool,
Yeah,
but if you think about it, it's mainly just a size thing, because the amount of energy is.
oh, it's kind of
Small.
like, it's like a little bit of a flywheel, if you will, and it
Yeah.
kind of helps keep it running.
Sewing machines. They're sewing machines.
Yeah, the treadle ones, yeah.
And you've got like a finished product there, it's like from knitted from, yeah.
So I'm a beginner spinner and over the past couple of years, I spun and I'm
The wool
a
for that.
beginning weaver as well.
Yeah,
So the wool that goes this way, I just, would practice and spin and spin and spin. And then the weft that goes this way is actually from our breed study. we call it a spinning experience because we're not as serious as breed study people are. But this is a black Welsh mountain, this black, and there's some Navajo churro, which is a lot of the native weavers use. And then it's just a different blocks of, we get a different wool every month. And we try it and we test it and we see if we like it or not.
So they're like naturally colored and
Yes.
You're all.
Yeah, so here,
Not to jump the gun or anything.
here are some of our favorite sheep.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So you start with Black Wolf Mountain?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't put Navajo churro on here because it's not my favorite.
That's okay, don't worry.
Anyway, so this is what we would show if we were doing a demo to people. We had posters.
So is there a particular wool that's of like premium sort of quality?
And it depends on the person what you like the most, right? So,
It's an agenda item.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I'm getting the.
I know it's exciting, but let's save our words.
Right.
You don't always have an audience, so.
So call to order the regular meeting of the Pleasant Hill Recreation and Park District Board of Directors for Thursday, August 22nd, 2024, 7 p.m. and we are in the district office. We have a quorum. We have 3 directors here. And we have 2 excused absences. Director Glover, would you lead us in the pledge, please?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. And thank you to our guests for being here, and we'll definitely get to the item on the agenda. It is very interesting. Item 3 is public comment, and unless we have any public comment that has come in on items that are not on tonight's agenda, I will close public comment. Okay, seeing none, public comment is closed, and we will move on to 4.1, a report from our general manager.
Great, thank you, Chair Benson. We have, I have a written report in your packet, but I have a couple of things I'd like to add. First, the community center carpet project has been completed, so that which is just in time for our event that happens tomorrow. So it's a great job of that. So hopefully the next time you're around the community center, you can take a look at that project. Then I had a conversation with Alan Bade and the watershed, Walnut Creek Watershed Council regarding the grant, and so they're considering submitting a grant, the Watershed Council, for either Shannon Hills Park or a site in Walnut Creek. So they're looking at all of the options, but I did tell them that if they wanted to do our project, that we would be supportive of that. So that was a good conversation. So more information on that later. And then in front of you, Denise Korslov, she rewrote her book, updated it on Rogers Ranch. So she dropped off copies for all of you. The Tinkers and Thinkers event will be held on Saturday, September 14th. That's an interactive event that we co-sponsor with the Pleasant Hill Library. I just wanted to update, we're not doing any boxes this year. Staff has finally decided that that was just too much to do boxes as well as the entire event. So it'll be an in-person event this year. And so, which we're very excited about. And so with that, we'll take any questions.
Okay, do any of the directors have any questions or comments?
None for me.
Okay. All right, thank you very much. We'll move on to item 5, the consent calendar. Looks like it is only one item to approve the bills to be paid. Is there a motion?
Motion
Approve
to
the
approve the consent calendar.
Okay, thank you.
Second.
Director Glover, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Now move on to our action items, and our 6.1 is to approve a request from Treadles to Threads Spinning Guild for sponsored group status. And Michelle's going to introduce the item.
Yeah, so as the board may remember, we updated our Series 1000 policies for the board, and in that is the co-sponsored or the sponsored group designation. And Trails to Threads Spinning Guild was a previously co-sponsored group, sponsored group that met at the Winslow Center. Once we had closed the Winslow Center for a time, they found a different location. They have come back because that no longer meets their needs. They've come back to the district to ask if we would again consider sponsoring them and providing a room for their monthly meetings. So I've included information in the staff report. The staff is recommending that the board approve this. We don't have the spinning arts represented. It's a recreation program that we don't offer. It would be a great enhancement to the district to have them once again housed within the district. In addition to them utilizing the facility, they will also provide services to a number of different events like they had in the past, particularly Tinkers and Thinkers. I've talked to Liz about already. So with that, I'm going to introduce Wendy Lacey. She actually shares the same last name, but she's unusual. So Wendy, do you want to?
And Amy Bachman.
Oh, go ahead. No.
And Jane, Frank.
That's me.
So, yeah, so I have been a member of Trails to Threads for decades, and we did meet at the Winslow Center. And when we closed the Winslow Center for a while, like I said, Michelle already said, we moved over. And in exchange for using the Winslow Center, we would be at different events for the city of Pleasant Hill as sort of an exchange of you give us the room, we'll go to different places. So we went to, I remember going to the holiday fair a long time ago. And at that time, then it was interactive, so the children would actually not spin like we're spinning, because it is quite a little bit of skill you have to learn. But we have these special tools where they can twist yarn and make a little bracelet for themselves. We have a plan for Tinkers and Thinkers that includes, we want to keep it simple, but at the same time, mainly demonstrate what we do to people because it's really intriguing and we want people to join our guild. But for the little ones, what we've come up with is to think about wool and to think about how fabric is made and where this all comes from. So we've printed off some little 3D printed sheet, and then the kids will be able to touch the wool after we washed it because it's and then we'll have them push the wool through, sort of reverse shearing a sheep. And then they'll end up with a little sheep with that they can have and take home with them. Cut that off. That's kind of cute. And we'll talk about the fact that there are different types of sheep, so we'll have different colors of wool and such for them. And that this fiber actually comes, a lot of our fabric is made from wool. At other times we can also do cotton, or we can branch out to linen or other things like that. So this would be one of the things, because I think at Tinkers and Thinkers, the kids can be smaller. But at the same time, we want demonstrations for the parents and the teens and such. We've also done Rogers Ranch as a demo, so we've been there a lot in the past. I don't know how we lost that contact. I think when the Winslow Center kind of went down, we lost that. We like going to Rogers Ranch. And then we could also do demos at the senior center or even the teen center to get people, because I think it's a real, people don't understand, it's sort of like meditation. It's a real calming thing that people like. So then the other thing we could show is that there's 3 different ways. So I was doing a demonstration of how a drop spindle works. So this is the old way to add twist to a fiber. Low tech, don't need much money. You can do it with literally a stick and a potato, right? And then the spinning wheel was invented, and so we have about 40 members of our guild. 25 of us are pretty active. We do stuff all the time. We go down to the city of San Ramon for their shearing day and we demonstrate. And Jane actually and Frank volunteer there now, right?
Feed the sheep.
Yes. And then we have another thing called Fiber Frolic that we do in Vacaville. So we're very active. And so when we do an event, usually a handful of us show up. We're not all 25 going to show up, but there would be a handful to show up to sort of let the public know that we're here. And we are a membership. Anyone can come to the meeting, but you need to pay if you want to do the events. So we had Die Day this year at my house. And we have a Christmas party, so that coming to the event, coming to the meetings is free. Okay, anything else? So anyway, then spinning wheels are invented, and then recently in the last decade or so, I don't know, we've all moved on to now having electric spinning wheels. So you can also have another poster board to educate people of the, you know, how it all started. How do you make yarn or string or thread in the first place? And then how do you make it in a production level? And then we could show pictures of how it's really made in industry right now. But, oh yeah, and we have a different poster. So, and then we can teach people how after the sheep is sheared, what it looks like, and there's different types of sheep that give us different types of wool. Some of it's really nice and soft and next to the skin, wonderful.
Soft if you want.
And some of it is where, yeah, that's gonna be a tapestry, or I'm gonna walk on it as a rug. It's way too harsh and scratchy. And there's different types of wheels. I think we have quite a representation of different wheels at our guild that people bring, so it's not just looking at one type of spinning wheel. Anything else? And then truly, we could, at the 4th grade level, I don't know if we have gone into schools in the past, and you can actually 3D print a drop spindle now. That's pretty easy. Or truly, you can use a stick with they don't send them in the mail. Remember when you got all those AOL CDs? You know, we used to put a CD on a stick and teach kids that way. So we want to be involved with the Pleasant Hill Rec, and so that's why we're asking to get our status back as co-sponsored group. Is there anything else I forgot to say?
Okay, so.
Yeah.
Thank you. Do any of the directors have any questions of our guests of that very interesting presentation?
Do you see your membership growing over?
We want
years?
to,
Okay,
yes.
Yeah.
So you might imagine if you think someone is spinning with a spinning wheel is probably old. And we are, okay, and we're old, and so we always want to get younger people. That's why I thought the teen center might be fun, because for a while fiber arts wasn't that big, but then the teens started getting into crocheting. Over the last 10 years or so, crocheting is big. What do you do after you crochet? You want to knit? Where's the yarn come from? You want to spin? So we want to get younger and younger people involved, and just get it out there, because usually, well, Jane, you're pretty new to the guild. How did you find us? Just
somebody gave me-
Forest Hill Farm.
Well, somebody gave me a ball of wool
Yeah.
and said, here, you wanna do something with it? And I'm like, what do I do? So I went to one of the meetings, and there's very nice people said, well, here, let me see what it's like.
Yeah.
So and then I just found it on the website.
Yeah, and we teach people, and we really, we want more members than we can find, you know what I'm saying? So outreach is a big part. And we belong to, so we're under the umbrella of CNC's. Conference of Northern California Hand Weavers. We have our own insurance, so when you join our guild, $5 of our small member fee goes to the bigger corporation. And we have our own insurance because of that too. But there's a lot of fiber arts events around the Bay Area. There's many little guilds like us in different areas. And we're just always looking for new people. Yeah, and we're willing to, you don't have to spend money to learn, you just come to our meetings, or we actually meet at my house every Friday night, we meet at another person, it shifts around on Mondays. So we're not just a guild who meets once a month, we're really active. Yeah.
It's a community. I think
It's a community,
Yeah.
yeah, and everyone's drawn to something that's moving.
Yeah.
There's something about that you just gotta see what that's about.
Mesmerizing,
Yeah, it's
You got all those
mesmerizing,
little kids at the sheep shearing
yeah,
with the spindle, the drop spindles, and they all wanted to just spin it. And,
Yes.
They were just, and
yes,
there was, your kids being taught at that,
yeah, at the event, at any kind of demonstration, yeah.
and they were probably from 5 years up, they were really interested in the spinning.
I can see where they would be, and I think it's good that you're gonna be at Tinkers and Thinkers. That's a good place to be, and I think
To
your
see.
idea about something with the teen center,
Yeah.
that I think it would work out, but.
Yeah.
They're.
Yeah, and any of the heritage things, like I don't know what you do at Rogers Ranch, is the Borges Ranch the one out there in Walnut Creek? We used to go to Rogers Ranch quite often.
And
We
Borges,
went-
yeah.
Yeah,
I went
And
there too.
when people come by and see, they put it in the back of their mind, and next time they see someone, they're like, okay, how do you learn to do that?
Yeah.
You know, so it's just getting exposure is what we want.
Well, I found it extremely interesting. I looked at your report that that we also had of yours with the photos and of the meetings that you had with the people around the table. It looks like you have a vibrant group,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
so thank you.
Yeah.
Does anybody else have any comments?
There are some 20-year-olds. Okay, we celebrate the young ones, yes.
Yeah.
If not, we're here to approve the request, so I will need a motion to that effect unless anybody has any questions.
I'll go ahead and make the motion that we approve the request from Treadles to Threads Spinning Guild for sponsored group status.
I have a second.
I second.
All right. Motion moved and seconded, and all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
thank you, yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks for
And
being
then I have just one question, would it be Liz Harrington that I arrange?
For your meetings, you would work with Kristen McNulty.
Oh, Kristen,
Yeah, yeah.
okay, okay.
So Kristen will get you, I will send her an
Okay.
email, make sure she knows.
And then any kind of paperwork, let me know.
Yeah, we will only require an annual update to the board.
Yes.
Mhm.
Excellent, thank you so much.
Yeah, Kristen will.
That's the fun part.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
thank you for the show and tell, that's.
Yeah, thank you very
That
much.
is really interesting.
Yeah.
And we'll teach any of you that wanna learn.
But now you, I know you want to learn too, right?
We'll have more of these meetings as we get, our correspondent groups come back.
Hated my
Yeah.
school, I got into croquet during
Yeah.
COVID.
Yeah.
And it's like, this would be
Yeah.
like
Perfect addition to that.
Yeah.
Well, they can make 3D printed nowadays too, so
Yes.
those spinning wheels that,
Well,
yeah,
and I'm
that make them extra.
just thinking of the conference factor, I think the senior center, I don't, my son volunteers are on Tuesdays, but just having something happen where you look as you're walking by is.
Mhm.
No, definitely.
There's a lot of opportunities, but
Yes.
thank you.
Nicole, our recreation supervisor, our superintendent, and so she'll put you in touch with her staff.
Excellent, thank you.
Alright. You may stay, we're almost done with our meeting.
Okay. All right, we will now move on to item 6.2, which is authorize general manager to accept the bid from Golden State Contract Flooring for the senior center carpet project in an amount not to exceed $77,294. Lance.
Sure.
There's a staff report, Lance, do you wanna
Sure.
give them the update?
Yes, we went out to bid again on carpet. Let's say again, we got a preliminary quote on it 2 years ago.
Mhm.
So we actually went to a formal bid, came back Golden State Contract Flooring, who we had worked with. They actually just installed the community center carpet.
Mhm.
So I'm pretty happy with the job they did there. So, yeah, we're looking to move forward here for the senior center carpet. We have some dates marked out at the end of October into the first week of November blocked out to get it done. So
Mhm.
that's where we're at.
And the bid was just a little bit more, like less than 5% above what we had budgeted, so that was good news.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, and it looks like there's no issue with the additional funds out of the SIP,
No.
so.
Yeah, and I recall like on the previous bid, there was some contractors licensing that we had to clarify to, kind of
Yeah, we
rebid
got
the
it right.
project, so, okay.
we got it right this time.
Okay.
That's what happens after you do more of that.
Yeah.
Anybody have any questions?
Yeah, has the flooring, like it is probably a good opportunity, just like senior and the community center kind of had the lifespan that we envisioned it would, or is it?
Yes,
Yeah.
I would say so. For the amount of traffic we get at
Yeah.
both centers.
That's why I remember when we built those buildings, and I don't think we envisioned them being, we envisioned them being full, but not at the
Yeah.
capacity and the usage that they were.
Yeah, I think we've gotten 11 years out of 11, almost 12 years out of the senior center.
That's
And
awesome.
so, and we've gotten 11 years out of the community center, so with as many events and wine and other things.
Yeah.
So,
Sure.
And if I recall, like the quote does include some excess of the carpet tiles so that you
Yes.
can replace as
Schematic
needed,
stock,
and,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay, do we have any public comment on this item?
We do not.
Okay, and I'm assuming we didn't have any in the other one that I forgot to ask. So, I will open and close public comment on both those items. Out of order. And let's bring it back to the board. Any other comments or questions?
No.
All right, then I'll entertain a motion.
I'll go ahead and move that we authorize the general manager to accept the bid from Golden State Contract Flooring for the senior center carpet project in an amount not to exceed $77,000 to $77,294.
A second.
Okay. There's a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, motion passes.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Lance, for the
thanks.
information. Let's see here. Doing a record.
Nah,
We are now up to item 7, verbal reports, which I don't.
we don't have any verbal
Not me yet.
reports, nope, and I do have, we have both a budget committee and a program committee meeting scheduled on the same day of September 4th, since they're the same exact people on the committee, so we're doing 1 hour and 1 hour, we're getting them both done at the same time, so.
Okay.
So that is scheduled, so that's the only thing we need.
All right. We will go on then to board announcement and request to staff, and I'll start with Director Glover.
I don't have anything.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I had the opportunity to participate in the main event. I thought that was fantastic. I really thought it was such a nicely done event with, you know, the way it was laid out in the atmosphere outside. It just happened to be like a full moon coming up that evening, which was epic, and the food was delicious. The conversation was great with all the people there. I'm hoping we can kind of, you know, use that and, you know, build off of it. So I was just really super impressed with that event. And then looking forward to Tinkers and Thinkers and, you know, seeing the guild out there, you know, so that they can showcase what they do. As far as a request to staff, maybe, you know, a little promotion about this sponsored group, you know, might be appropriate. And other than that, I don't have anything else, so.
Okay, thank you. I also was at the main event, and as Derek said, it was awesome. And congratulations to Liz and her staff and everybody there that worked on that. It just, the weather was perfect, the food was just excellent. It was a lot of fun, and I know for the first time ever, kind of event, it worked out really well, and just how they did it, and it was just, I hope we do it again, and we'll see what they want to do. And I am also looking forward to Tinkers and Thinkers. I don't have my grandkids out here to take, but I always go and see little things and pick up things, so that I can tell them about when we go visit them, so. That's all I have, and our next meeting is when? September 12th, I believe, September 12th is our next meeting. So we've got a little bit of a gap, and wish everybody have a, if you're heading out of town over Labor Day, have a safe trip and enjoy yourselves. And we will adjourn this meeting at 7:22 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
Four Thursdays.
There's
Yeah,
five.
five this month,
Five Thursdays, so we get a.
You get a break.
a little bit of a break between our next one, yeah.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah.